Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's Combo Breaker 99. I'm back with another post-fight analysis video from this weekend. Randa Markos versus Kanako Murata. Just getting around to doing this one. I just want to go ahead and get it out the way, man, because I just wanted to kind of talk about Randa Markos, and her career in the UFC. First off, I have to say that Randa, I have to give her a lot of credit because she's one of the few strawweights that's going to fight anybody. No matter the situation that Dana or the matchmakers put her in, or like I said, they put her in these last minute fights where it kind of seems like they tell her, hey, you got to take this last minute fight on 2 or 3 weeks notice, maybe a month notice. If you don't, you get cut. She's always kind of been in that position, and I kind of been thinking that this might be one of those moments where they put her in there with a up and coming Kanako Murata, former Invicta FC strawweight champion, who they feel like really needs to make a statement against a big opponent. At the same time, Randa is a very, very tough opponent. She's a formidable opponent for anybody in the UFC strawweight division. But at the same time, I feel like she's always put in these situations to kind of get her out the door. Like, if you look at her record and you really study her record, she's like one of those journeyman boxers that come in there, put on tough fights. If you underestimate them, you'll wind up losing. She'll wind up pulling off the upset. Even if she has this many losses, like 9 or 10 losses, you can't really base her skill level off of those losses, because she's put in those situations, like I said, where she doesn't really have that time to prepare like some of the more heavy favorites in the UFC. And I kind of think that her days are numbered, sadly. But once again, I feel like Randa Markos, she was in a must-win situation. And this was a fan pick. I'm going to be honest. This was a fan pick because honestly, I felt like Kanako Murata was going to win this fight. I just feel like she had the strength and the activity to beat a fighter like Randa Markos. Just going in from a technical standpoint, I feel like she had that momentum to beat Randa Markos. But like I said, I was riding with Randa because I want to see her stay in the UFC, even if she is like 10-9 or 10-10. I feel like she brings a lot to the table. She's a good test for a lot of up-and-comers and can still beat a lot of up-and-comers. Like if you put her in there with Kay Hansen, I think, Randa Markos could be that fighter to beat her. I think she's still that good. I think it just takes time for Randa to actually have a full training camp and that focus for her to really to rise to the occasion, But with that being said, man, just going back and looking at the fight real quick. Like I said, I feel like Kanako Murata did have the strength, the activity to beat a fighter like Randa Markos, because sometimes she's a slow starter. So I feel like if she went in there, had good takedown defense from a fighter like Randa Markos, she could go in there, do whatever she wanted, take Randa down, or keep it on the feet if she wanted to. Like round one, I gave the round to Kanako right after like 3 minutes in. She was just showcasing her strength in wrestling. I think Randa was doing okay on her back, but I still feel like Kanako could, really control from this, side control. And I think she was really starting to frustrate Randa with her strength and her movement. But, Randa has solid grappling skills. So, she wasn't completely dominated on the mat. So she was able to get up when she wanted to. She was able to stand the fight back up to her feet. Kanako was moving quick again. She kind of stepped in. She does a lot of little feints. Like I said, she's doing good little feints, like she's going to strike, but then she'll just go in for a clinch, running with a clinch, and kind of a bully with her strength. And this time, she did it again, got that clinch, tripped her, and got another takedown. And this time, to showcase her strength, she's holding the left arm of Randa Markos while she's getting in some very, very good ground and pound, like vicious ground and pound with one hand. And almost to the point I thought she was going to get a stoppage, because she was really landing like some unanswered shots. At the same time, Randa almost looked defenseless because she couldn't get her left hand free. So good ground and pound and just overall takedowns from Kanako in the first round. Second round, in my opinion, I feel like Randa was doing a little bit better here. She was using some good lateral movement, establishing a leg kick, landing some good leg kicks and kept Kanako back. But Randa was still striking short. Like the leg kicks were landing, but she was striking short and not timing the movement of Kanako enough. Like when Randa timed the range, she would land. If she timed it a few times, once in a while, she would land a good shot straight up the middle. But the leg kicks were landing. I feel like those were good, and she landed a good right cross off of the leg kicks. But Kanako quickly came in, smothered that attack when she didn't want to strike with her, got the single leg takedown, and there was a lot of pressure from her in that last minute from Kanako. But I felt like Kanako when she was fighting at a range this round, she was just doing a lot of feinting and posing. I think she was just doing a lot of feinting and posing, wasn't landing as many leg kicks and effective strikes as Randa. So I gave this round to Randa. I know the judges had it 30-27. They didn't give Randa any rounds, but I feel like the second round could have went to Randa off of her activity there throughout those first 2-3 minutes. And that's why Kanako went in and closed that distance, because I think that timing was getting to her, but Randa didn't fully execute. Last round, Randa started circling, but jabbing short again, not fully committed to that jab. I feel like she was the taller fighter in there. She should have been putting that jab in the face of Kanako. Jab is something I'm always talking about because that's how critical it is. And there's a lot of fighters that don't use a jab. So I think off topic, that's something I'm going to talk about in another video, is the jab. The jab is something I got to talk about. That and striking ability. Might be two separate videos, but I feel like all wrestlers, all grapplers, all MMA fighters need a basic fundamental in stand-up and in boxing in general. So yeah, that's something I'm going to talk about. But yeah, back to the third round. Randa, like I said, was circling, jabbing short. And to me, like I said, this was the time to let it go. Follow the jab up with the right hand. But again, Kanako showing the strength, shoots in for a double leg. She shoots in for the double leg, doesn't get it. She picks Randa up, tries to come down with Randa, but Randa lands on her feet. So what does she do? She trips Randa again, gets the takedown. And Kanako on top, really just using her wrestling to really out-muscle Randa at this point. Kanako got in some good ground and pound this time. And like I said in my prediction, I feel like Kanako is sloppy in that guard, like whenever she's on top position and she's open to arm bars. And Randa did try for the arm bar, but she couldn't get it. Maybe if she set Kanako up early, she would have got it. Like, I don't know if they did look at tapes of Kanako, but like I said, when Kanako's in that top position in that guard, she's ready. She's really prone to an arm bar. And I saw that Randa tried in that last round, but if she had tried a couple times earlier or like baited her to get on top of her, she probably could have got the arm bar. If she kind of worked her down minute after minute, she probably could have got the arm bar, because that attempt was there in the third round, but she needed a little bit earlier, I think, to kind of wear Kanako down and set her up for it. But yeah, man, overall, that was a good performance by Kanako Murata. Like I said, the judges had it 30-27. In my opinion, I had it 2-1. Second round was very competitive. But moving forward for Randa Markos here, I feel like the UFC is going to cut her, but I hope they don't. I hope they give her another chance, because this was another fight where she gave an up-and-comer a test. Like, you do need those type of fighters. I'm going to be honest. You do need those type of fighters in the UFC that can kind of stick around and be a test for the up-and-comers. At the same time, if they beat them, they still get a chance, because they still fight their heart out, even if they come up short. She's not like a fighter that goes on like 5-6 fight losing streaks and looks embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like, Randa just sometimes doesn't rise to the occasion, but she's still a tough customer. And I still got her beating some of these up-and-comers. I still feel like she could beat Jinu Frey. Like I said, Kay Hansen, she would give Corey McKenna a tough fight. I don't know if she could beat her, but yeah, she could give her a tough fight. What was her name from the Contender Series last week? Luana Pinheiro. I think she could give her a tough fight. But yeah, I hope she gets to stay. As for Kanako Murata, she's a good ball of energy. That strawweight, she's a good ball of energy. I think she would also be a good matchup for Corey McKenna. Since Corey McKenna won her fight, I'd like to see that fight next. I want to see that fight next, or see her fight Loma Labugni next, because I really like Kanako Murata, her energy. I like how she likes to switch it up, stand and wrestle. And, wrestling's not boring to me. I like watching fighters wrestle as well, and I like watching them, strike as well. I like seeing a mix of that, and she has a good mix of that. I think she's still a little bit sloppy on the ground, and she's prone to them arm bars and some submissions, but she's still growing as a fighter. Like I said, I want to see her in there Loma Labugni next, or Corey McKenna. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this, guys. I'm going to come back and talk some more about these two on the live stream tonight. We'll talk about all these strawweights. But yeah, make sure y'all subscribe, and let me know what y'all think they should do with Randa Markos from here. I think, in my opinion, they shouldn't cut her, because she's still a tough customer. She still she presents a lot to a lot of these up-and-coming strawweights. But yeah, man, that's all I got on this, guys. Combo Breaker 99. Make sure y'all subscribe. I'm out. Peace.